All right, so this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to have a script. I'm not going to be talking over anything. I want this to be as raw, authentic as possible. Okay, that's my goal with this video because it's a little bit more personal. And this video is going to be about understanding your why. Everybody has a why. Everybody has a reason they want to get better, right? And we're all here for fitness. Everybody has a reason why they want to look better, feel better, function better. 100%. You're not here just because you wanted to give me money, right? You're here to better your life, and I'm helping you do so. And I really just want us to really tap into that why, okay? Because it's going to help us when times get really hard, when you feel unmotivated, undisciplined, anxious, stressed. You need to resort to your why. You need to resort to why you started in the first place. If you kind of take that and, have it in the back of your head, it'll motivate you for like 3-6 months, give or take. After that point, though, you kind of forget. You don't really remember it, and it's not your fault. Everybody does so. So I want us to really, really dig deep. At the surface level, I've said this before, and I probably said this 100 times at this point, but at the surface level, it's I want to look good for girls. I want to look good for my family. I want to look good on the beach. I want to be better than other people. That's very top of the iceberg. If we dig a little bit deeper, we get to the fact that, I want to look good for girls because there was this specific relationship where she treated me like shit and I felt like I was useless and worthless. Therefore, I want to be better. That is the point. That is why we are tapping into this, because once you figure that out, you hang it up, you resort to it every single day, and it motivates you constantly without fail. So when you're burnt out, where do you go? Back to your why. This is how we're going to do it. Number one, I want you to grab 3 pieces of paper. On the first piece of paper, I want you to write down your current beliefs. Okay? What you currently believe to be true. And this could be, I believe that fitness is hard. I believe that working out hurts. I believe that it is going to take a lot of work to get to my dream result. Now, on the next piece of paper, I want you to write down big bold lettering at the top of the page as the title. I want you to write out new beliefs, or like new person, or new identity. Write down new identity. Okay, and I want the first bullet point to be who you want to be in 5 years, in 6 months, in maybe even a month. Who you ultimately want to be. And this could be, I want to be a guy who is confident, who is strong, who stands up for his family, who is there for his kids, who is able to have a healthy family, who supports his family when times get rough, who's financially independent, who's strong enough to show up and do whatever. Be as specific as humanly possible. I don't care if this takes up the entire page. Go grab a fucking new one, okay? Write out 2 pages if you have to. Once you really, really dig deep into that, under that belief, under that new identity, I want you to write your new beliefs. And these beliefs are going to directly correlate to what this guy is, or who this guy is. So if your, new identity is somebody who is confident, his new belief system would be, I am the best version of myself. I'm not egotistic, but I know who I am. That is a belief. That is a new belief that we're going to start implementing. So write down exactly what this new guy believes. This new identity. What does he believe? Write that down. Multiple bullet points. Again, I don't care if this takes an entire page up. Make it as valuable as possible. The more you write, the more you will get out of this video. I swear to God. Once you're done with that, you have your old beliefs, your new identity, and your new beliefs, okay? Take a new piece of paper, and I want you to write down just your why. Why you want to get to this dream result. Okay, really dig deep. It's going to start, maybe draw an iceberg. Yeah, draw an iceberg. Draw the, kind of like a triangle. You could draw water too. Make it fun. Make this fun. I want at the top of the iceberg to be the first thing that comes to your mind. Like, immediately, like, what comes to your mind when you say you want to be better at fitness or you want to look better? Write that down at the very top of the iceberg, okay? And then I want you to write down why that is so important to you. Okay, so for example, at the top of the iceberg, it could say, example, I want to look good for my family, right? And then we get down to the bottom of the iceberg and we're making our way down, write down like different reasons why until we get to the very end, the very peak, the farthest point underwater. And I want this to be as specific as humanly possible. And this could be, for example, I want to look better for my family because I when I was a child, I was so weak and I was so insecure that I couldn't show up for family events. And there was this one time that, you know, they asked me to lift the Christmas tree and move it over here. And I was so weak that I hurt myself doing so. And I heard my entire family giggle and my cousins made fun of me. That is how specific I want you to get, okay? That is your reason why. And it's going to be a very like specific moment, hopefully, and then kind of like go a little bit deeper, draw like one more arrow down, and then write just like more broad. Okay, now we've like at the top of the iceberg we have very, you know, broad. I just want to look better for girls. I just want to look better for my family. Then we have our very specific reason. Under that, write down, you know, just like a little bit more broad so you can hang it up. Okay, so for example, I want to be, if we're using the Christmas tree example, I want to be more fit so I'm able to be strong at my for my family, never get laughed at again. Perfect. Take that very long explanation, kind of simplify it a little bit. And now on the second piece of paper that we made, just write that like at the bottom or like at the top, wherever you have room, big, bold. Remember that. Now take this second piece of paper, go hang it up in your mirror, in your bathroom. Go literally put it right when, like if you stand up and you look directly at yourself, put that piece of paper right there. So every single morning you read it, and you should. Every single morning you should read it, okay? This is going to be your why. This is going to be the thing that we leverage when times get extremely, extremely difficult. So when we're feeling depressed, anxious, stressed, burnt out, go look back at this paper, read it over, and you'll start to understand. You'll feel those emotions again. You'll feel like, oh my gosh, I'm in that moment where my cousins laughed at me and I couldn't lift the Christmas tree or whatever. Right? Like you feel that moment again. It motivates you. It gets you up off your ass. And that is really, really what we're looking for. So once we understand that why, I want us to start tapping into this every single day. Okay? You have your why, you have your reason, and you have your new belief set, and you have your new identity. Now, every single thing that should come into your mind should reflect that piece of paper. Okay? Every single thought that comes into your mind should be aimed towards that piece of paper that you look at every single morning in your mirror. So if something comes into your mind and it's lowering your frequency, dismiss it right away. Immediately. If it comes in your mind of like, maybe I am weak, maybe I'm just not built for this, dismiss it right away. Get that shit away from you as quickly as possible, okay? We are going to implement this every single day. Every single thought that you should have should reflect that piece of paper, should reflect that why, should reflect that new identity, should reflect those new beliefs. Implement this every single day. I promise that it'll change your life. If it doesn't, then I failed as your coach. Not actually, but I really hope that this does benefit you guys. I might make another video on this just because it was so impactful, and this has really helped me. But seriously, you guys, read that paper over every single morning, every single night as well, maybe. If you really want to get the most out of this piece of paper as you possibly can, rewrite it every single day. Rewrite that piece of paper every single day. Seriously, it's going to help you guys so incredibly much, and I'm confident it will. Confident it'll change your life. Yeah, I hope that this video was helpful. I'll probably make another one of these later down the line, but yeah, guys, keep at it, and damn, I love all of you. Peace.